So, say goodbye to Bia.
Thank you.
So which way you're going?
That is a good question.
Update on Bia. She's made her cycling trip from north to south. If you didn't catch our video, check it out right here. Right now, she's doing a little bit of a pause to her trip to learn scuba diving. She has 2 weeks surfing planned before she heads back up the East Coast to the northernmost point, lighthouse in Taiwan. There you go. Ow!
In the Pines.
Yeah, everybody knows the version of Kurt Cobain of Nirvana.
Well, I didn't until you showed it to me. So, yeah.
And David Grohl was on drums for that. Two of the Foo Fighter guys were formerly in Nirvana. Do you know the Foo Fighters?
Heard of them.
Yeah, they've been pretty big recently. They have been big.
Okay.
And the Pines is a song that goes back to at least the 1860s. If you take a look at the lines, so my girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. So the question is, why is this girl sleeping in the woods? Why is she not at home?
Because she's running away from the war. Or maybe she's a slave.
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
But then you find out it gets a little nefarious here. Her husband was a hardworking man just about a mile from here. His head was found in a driving wheel.
It's a wheel of a horse cart.
It's from the locomotive times, the steam engine. What the hell is that?
Sounds like someone's drilling.
So he's drilling a hole. Driving wheel can also be found in a factory.
Okay.
So, but here's the kicker. His body was never found. That's why it's nefarious. So if it was a factory and his body was never found, sounds like
he was murdered?
Murdered, yeah. But if it was locomotive, you can understand. If it was a moving locomotive, then you can understand why his body was never found.
Oh, so it was an accident.
It could have been.
But why would she want to run away then?
Yeah.
That's the key.
Right,
here.
yeah. And in different versions of the song, sometimes it's the girl who dies.
Okay.
Okay, and so there's all these versions over time. Somebody did a PhD dissertation on this. Like
really?
Yeah.
So do they even know who wrote it?
Originally, no, it's like a folk song. And then Leadbelly kind of was one of the more... Well, Leadbelly is the one that Kurt Cobain took it from. So his version...
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's when it started to get very popular, after Leadbelly sang it.
Probably after Nirvana because of the internet.
Oh, right.
But Leadbelly was just going along, a long series of... Lots of artists were covering this.
Okay.
We're doing it. It's not cover. It's like folk music was just passed around and sung. Appalachia is where it comes from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Appalachia. Where is Appalachia? Can you explain that for your listeners?
Well, the hills of, you've been on the Appalachian Trail.
I thought the Appalachia just means like the Appalachian region.
Yeah, that whole mountain area.
Okay.
It's characterized by kind of, hard scrabble lives, right?
Okay.
So there's like 3 voices. There is a questioner of this girl. So it could be the father, question, or a sheriff. And there's a narrator, and there's also the girl who says, in the pines where the sun don't ever shine.
It's the chorus.
Yeah, but the last line goes, the sun, the shine. So here it's not negative.
So how does it end?
This one is kind of real drawn out.
I'll shiver the whole night through. Like that, right? So
You could do it that way, yeah. Because I've
how do
heard...
they usually do it?
It's cool to get your take on it, though.
Okay, all right.
Kind of mix it.
I mean, because that's how they usually end a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Very slowly, and then...
I like to see what you come up with.
Okay.
That would be neat, right?
Hasn't been any real explanation for the background meaning of this song, has it?
No, it's been passed down, changed, altered. Could have been some accident in Appalachia and somebody wrote a song about it.
Interesting.
You know, a lot of songs come from truth from somewhere. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I'll shiver the whole night through.
My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through.
His head was found in a driving wheel, but his body was never found.
In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through.
My girl, where did you go? I'm going, no, the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I will shiver the whole night through.
My girl, don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through.
Keep going.
My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines, the sun will shine. I'll shiver the whole night through.
Oh,
You went off on us in the middle there.
I don't know what I was doing. Wanted to jazz it up, I guess.
Okay. A lot of chord changes. Send this to my daughters. You do this part.
How can I try to explain? Cause when I do, it turns away again. It's always been the same old story. From the moment I could talk, I was ordered to listen. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
Find a girl, settle down. If you want, you can marry. Look at me, I am old, but I'm happy.
Said I cried, keeping all the things I knew inside. It's harder to ignore it. They were right, I'd agree, but it's them you know and not me. Now there's a way, and I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
Good. Oh yeah. Yeah. On my blanket with my baby, that's where I will be.
Under the boardwalk,
Out of the sun.
under the boardwalk,
We'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
People walking the boat.
under the boardwalk.
We'll be falling in love.
Under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
Under the boardwalk, down by the sea. Yeah. On a blanket with my baby, that's where I will be.
Under the boardwalk,
out of the sun.
under the boardwalk,
We'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
People walking the bus.
under the boardwalk,
We'll be falling in love.
under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
Not too bad.
I didn't get my walking mileage for December. I do those challenges for Strava. I missed 7K, so I'm gonna make that up today in addition to doing my first 5K run of the year. Yes, just finished that. Do you have a New Year's resolution? It's tough to hold those, right? Goals are set out there in front of you and we don't achieve them a lot. But what I want to do this year is if I don't achieve a daily goal, there will be consequences. There has to be a consequence. I can make it fun, but it has to be a little bit painful. I would really like it if you put a comment and tell me about your goals for 2023. Looks like some other people have walking goals too.
Like and subscribe to Runnersgarden.
That's English.
Mets un j'aime.
Okay.
Abonne-toi à Runnersgarden.
Okay. Mandarin is Anga-chan.
On Instagram.
Oh, popular on Instagram.
We bought it and I really liked it.
It's yours. Yay! I'm a winner too.
Catwalk.
Catwalk.
Catwalk. Put it on, put it on.
Yeah, like a 35.
75.
Thank you, Rock.
32, yeah.
97.
Oh, here's more.
Yay! Oh, it's heavy too. 充电吗? Oh, cool.
Wow.
Here's a little gear for walking and hiking, the iWalk lightning connector here, and this saves me a wire. My old power bank had a wire. So this one, you just plug right into the bottom of your iPhone. This is really needed on those long hikes that I plan for this year in 2023 to do the 2 remaining mountains of the Guguan 7 Heroes here in Taiwan. My new iPhone 14 should have enough power, but you know, I'm using it for navigation and communication, and I'm taking all these videos with my phone, so this is a good backup. Let me give you some updates on some of the equipment that I've reviewed in the past. The teeter, I still use it on occasion, but mostly it is something to hold on to when I'm balancing or stretching. In talking about the teeter, I kind of got guilty for not using it. I want to show you something. Look at that, it's an outlet on the ceiling. Why would you have an outlet on the ceiling? Well, this is Taiwan. Normally in a Taiwanese house, you'd have an altar, you worship your ancestors, and on the top of the altar, sometimes they have these constant red lights. You need to plug them in. Your altar is pretty high. The closest place to plug them in would be the ceiling. So I am laying on my teeter right now, and look at this. I'm moving my hand back. I put my finger right at that outlet there, and I'm at a perfect angle that I'm laying on, stretching my back. And if I want to go back a little bit further, I just move my hand slightly past, and the teeter will move. And then if I want to stretch a little bit more, just move my arms. It's enough to tip it. Oh, I'm getting a good stretch now. I haven't used the pulley system in a while because I'm doing a workout DVD here, The Beast, so that only requires the free weights. But I'll get back to that pulley system when I go back to this book, Huge and Freaky. This is a folding chair that I got as merch from a race, and my wife actually carries that. You can use it as like a backpack and then open it to be a chair, but my wife takes it up this ladder and we sit on the roof in the sun some days. I usually only use this in the summer. Right now the weather is nice enough. It's winter in Taiwan, but I'm going out a lot more. So the Trax bicycle trainer, not really being used that much, but it still works. Oh, and you get all this like gritty rubber particles coming off your tire. So I have some vacuuming to do. The Reebok treadmill, boy, it must be 10 years now. The touch screen does not work, but the arrows down here do. So I'm still using it. This shows you how old it is. Look at this. This is the old connection. But this still works too. I can have music. Deuter backpack with Hanker attachment. I've used this on Snow Mountain and Jade Mountain, and I still love it. But I was considering getting a ultralight pack, so maybe that'll be in 2023. Deuter Pulse 3 remains my favorite hip pouch. The thing that really gets you on these is usually the zippers, which corrode, but I think I use it so often that I'm opening and closing this so they never have a chance to seal up on me. If I did, there's baking soda solution or vinegar can do the trick. Here's my gear drawer. Sleeping bag worked fine. Mattress was great, but I didn't use the pump at Snow Mountain because the pump was too loud. And I still have my other sleeping mat in here. Garmin Fenix 7, I'm loving it, especially after I got it fixed. For longer day hikes and for summiting, when I put the big pack at the cabins, this is a great pack, the Solomon Active Skin 8. There's a little bit of fraying here and there, but it hasn't been a problem. Fraying like that little thread there on the stitching. The Black Diamond hiking poles still being used, still not collapsible, but a part of it is collapsible, so I can still stow them. But I also like my wooden hiking sticks. I should make another one soon. There's one in the corner. These are my North Faces, coming apart here, but still surviving. These, I go barefoot in these. I got some special inner soles in here. And that was from a time when I hurt the bottom of my foot, but they feel comfortable, so I keep them in there. And these are for my weightlifting shoes, my workout shoes. They're meant for like running through the creeks and stuff, getting wet and being able to air out easily. There's these thin strips of support inside the mesh. Open air holes in it back here. They've got some good lugs on them still. I could use these as trail shoes. I just ran into a former student at the Mizuno store, a new Mizuno store. Speaking of Mizunos, the rubber here is coming up. So kind of on their last leg. These were more for speed. The Addy Zero Boost Boston 8s, I guess. They're still doing okay. They're a little bit narrow in the toe box. You may have never heard of these before. These are Lanus, unless you live in Taiwan. I have an identical black pair, which I use on the treadmill, and I have completed at least one half marathon in this pair, and they're still doing all right. A little bit of wear on my usual wear pattern there. These are like more minimalist shoes. They're very light. Yeah, I'll walk in these once in a while, I run, but I use these as like shoes to teach in. The Rockports, there's a rubber all the way around. I'm on my second sole for this, but these I have had at least 15 years. I'm still upset about my Vaporflies cracking. I don't know when I'm gonna get over this. Hoka Mocs, brought these back from the States. A little bit of wear, but still good for walking. Very light, very comfortable. They slip on really easy. I like my Hoka Mocs. There's like 12 or 1300 kilometers on these things, walking in them, but they have, the bottoms are pretty torn up, but still good to go. Hoka Speed Goat. I like them, but I usually have to tape the back of my ankle about at that point right there for some reason. But good to go through water. And I've completed my 2 big summits in this pair. Under Armour, also a kind of good looking pair of shoes. These are the Hover Velocities. And I will run in these once in a while or just teaching them. On my, I think one of my shorts about the Nike, somebody else was complaining about Under Armour. And they said her and her husband's both fell apart. But for me, my Hover, what are these? Infinities? Yeah, this is my second pair. And I still like them for trails. I've had these forever too, and they were re-stitched. You can see the stitching here by my cobbler. So the bottom is Vibram. Sorry, they're a little dirty, but these I go barefoot in, no sock, and they're 0 drop. And I mostly use these for cycling, actually. I don't do much like exercise in these, but these are like a daily wear in the winter time and when it's raining. But I love my Palladiums. Absolutely love my Fjallraven rain jacket.
Happy New Year!
Yay!